Thank you so much, Romeo Busiku, for the responses there, of course, coming from yesterday's economic summit. Keep those coming. It's interesting to see what the finance minister had to say with regards to where we are at in the different regions in the country. Do you agree? Hashtag morning at NTV. Well, we're getting into another conversation for you, my business people. Now, today something interesting will be happening. And of course, this is the UAE-Uganda Trade and Investment Forum. And of course, this is courtesy of the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry together with the Uganda National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Of course, them trying to make sure that there's that synergy, of course, being formed between you and that particular space, of course, in terms of if you've been looking to set base in the UAE, what does it take? So it's going to happen today. But before you plan to attend the event and before we get into the ins and outs of the event, I do have one of the very organizers, Mr. Francis Ntangaza. He is the East African Projects Coordinator of the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Many thanks for making time and welcome to Morning at NTV.
Thank you very much. Morning.
Good morning. I think before we get into the event, we'll close with that. Let's just inform our viewers, especially them that are in business and have always wanted to scale out of Uganda. If I'm just a basic Ugandan, what does it take for me to penetrate the UAE market?
Basic Ugandan, that's a very serious term.
Yes, a basic Ugandan. Of course, we all say that, you know, and of course, statistics have shown that we are a very enterprising country.
Yeah.
But the ease of doing business is still a debate that continues on a day-to-day basis. So I'm in the business space, and I'll tell you for sure, a majority do want to scale, and they're looking at, as opposed to just setting base in Uganda, where there's other avenues for me to set base. So if I'm a basic Ugandan, yes, 100% Ugandan, what does it take for me to get into the UAE market?
Thank you. First, you need to have a registered company. That is very important.
Registered here?
Yes, in Uganda.
Okay. Does it have to be a company or a business?
A business has to be registered for you to transact, to do any kind of business. You know, it creates sort of traceability. If I give you credit, who are you? You know, if I have your memorandum, your memats, what is your business all about? What are your objectives? You know, all that, it's spelled out in those memats. That's why you see people want to deal with registered businesses. And we came with 22 companies here from UAE, and they're looking to work with even the very basic of Ugandan, you know. We came with an entity here called Etihad Credit Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a basic Ugandan, I got a contract from a local government, for example, back in Gulu district, and I'm going to supply furniture to the district headquarters, and the contract is $100,000. Come to UAE, to Sharjah, they control 63% of the manufacturing sector of UAE. Get a company there to supply you and tell them, give me 90 days credit. Mm-hmm. Let me take the goods and I pay you 90 days, because you know the local government will pay in 60 days.
Right.
So what Etihad Credit Insurance does, they insure that transaction on behalf of the company in UAE, and you can take goods for 90 days and you pay back, you know. So in a way, it's giving you capital. Right. You know.
So that is one of the companies that has come through.
That's one of the organizations that have come, which can help facilitate trade that way.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, that will be one of the conversations today, as of course we are having this particular event. But so you said, one, I need to make sure that I have a registered business.
Very important.
Registered in Uganda.
Registered in Uganda before you even think about registering it in the UAE.
Okay. So after that, I've registered my business, my papers are good to go. What next?
So you come to the Chamber of Commerce. In Uganda first. Okay. So you register, you become a member. That way you get a letter of introduction to a sister Chamber of Commerce in UAE. So you come to Sharjah, and then we shall help you register a company in UAE. From the very basic, you can do it in the free zone, you can do it mainland. So then from there, you can start transacting. You're treated as a UAE company, you can access cheap credit in banks, you know, all that. You can get your visa as well, and you are a resident of UAE then.
All right. So what does it take for that registration process? So I have my business registered. We all know how much it costs. You guys know. Go and consult. That is within the country. After that, I go to the Uganda, of course, Chamber of Commerce. For me to register the Uganda Chamber of Commerce, do I have to pay something?
They have membership fees, yes, correct, and it's categorized in different tiers. I think they have from the very basic right down to gold or platinum. So I think those various memberships, you access various services. But the Chamber of Commerce will help you. They have a trade facilitation desk that will help you actually register a company, even if you don't know one.
All right.
So they have a lovely lady there called Blessing. She's a lawyer, so she can also help you prepare your documentation. And then from there, be right to us in Sharjah and say, there's this company, they want to do this and this and this, and we shall get you in touch with as many companies as possible in Sharjah in the specific sector that you're looking at. You know, let's say you're looking into ceramics, all plastics or manufacturing, or you're an exporter, but you're looking for market that way, for fruit and veg, or you're looking for boxes for packaging back home. Anything that you're looking at, you specify the sector, we'll get you in touch with the company, and you have a conversation.
All right, so for me to get into the books of Sharjah, do I have to part with anything?
No.
So it's free of charge?
Completely free of charge.
Provided you've paid your membership fees for the Uganda Chamber of Commerce.
And they write to us a letter of introduction, who you are. It's completely free of charge.
How long does it take for me to, let's just say that maybe I've just had this dream of getting into business. I have no experience, but I have the money to start, and I've gone through that particular process. How long does it take for you to connect me to the market, of course, in the UAE?
Me coming from Sharjah Chamber of Commerce, it will take me an hour.
An hour?
Yes, because Sharjah Chamber of Commerce has got about 79,000 members, and it's very, very strong. It is a government entity, so it is wholly owned by government. So it takes me, it's mandatory for you to be a member of the chamber that way. So it takes me, if you come and tell me I'm interested in this, we already have organized information on different sectors. I just shoot an email, I have this person here, they want to buy this. Within an hour, you get responses.
Mtangaza, is it that easy?
Very
on ground?
Organized organizations, that's how it works.
All right.
Yes.
So what happens, like you're saying, it takes you 1 hour to link me to the market. Is it that you peg me to, of course, an industry player already in that particular sector, or what exactly happens?
So what I do is when you come to me, I'll say, okay, what are you interested in? I get to know your requirements. I list them down, your specifications of what you're looking for. I'll give you an example. Somebody came to Sharjah, for example. They said, Francis, I got the contract to supply the machinery that processes starch to NADS in Uganda. Okay, I told him, okay, what's the size of the machinery, the capacity, what kind of electricity are you going to use, what is the size of the land, what is your budget? So I got the specifications. I sent out an email to the people who do these things. And you get about 5 responses. And then you start the conversation. You start bargaining, of course, the usual hustle and bustle. And you see how you can get a deal done.
Right.
And then you can say, I do not have money. I have 50% down payment. All I need this 50%. I've realized I need the 50% for taxes back home. Can I take this on credit? Then you can have another conversation on that.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
You know, I've had friends who have established their businesses in the UAE. And what they tell me is that, especially when you're in that particular space and you want to be there for the long run, you have to make sure that you get into that space of understanding how the Arabic guys operate in their business space. In Africa, we shy away from mixing business with friendships because of obvious reasons. We always say that if you mix business with friendship, of course, the business will not scale.
Yes.
You'll get people who want to get your money and not return it because, hey, you're a friend, you ought to understand. But in the UAE, it's totally different. Business people want to relate at a friendship level. So how do you ensure that these business people who are coming from an African context, getting to the UAE market, understand those dynamics? Because this non-spoken somewhat values, but you have to get it right for you to succeed. So do you have those interactions with them?
Of course, you know, every country has got different cultures. The Arabs have got theirs, and they believe in a handshake, you know. When we shake on it, I trust your word. So I always tell people who come, especially Ugandans, when you come to here, I always tell them, leave your Ugandanism at home. You know, I use that term a lot. Leave your Ugandanism at home. Come, if you're ready to do business, it's trust. When you establish a relationship and this guy trusts you, you expect to deliver at your end, and he will deliver at his end all the time. And eventually you find it easy for yourself. You know, if you took 1 or 2 containers, the next time he's going to give it to you on credit, the third time on credit, you know, then if he was giving you 90 days, he's giving you 150 days because you're telling him business is slow now. So it's all about trying to do things the professional way, you know. If we agree on something, let it be that.
Let it be that.
And if it's going to change, inform me it's going to change. Very important. But not, we had, for example, I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
We had somebody, they came, they said, I can supply 40 tons of pineapple every week. I said, oh, really? From where? No, we have in Kanguru Milan. So I was familiar with Uganda. I said, okay. He signed a contract. Of course, it was season. He did well the first month. The second month, there was no pineapple. He switched off his phone. He was even shy to come and pick his payment.
Oh, wow.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Right.
But if you had told him, you know, we have 2 seasons, I can only do this every 6 months, I can take you 10 containers every... People understand, and then they plan with you, you know. So it's very important for us to live with the Ugandanism at home, and we do professional business.
You know, you say that, and I was also interacting with one of, you know, because I'm also a consultant in the business space, and they were saying that also selection of a local partner is key.
Very important.
Is very important.
Yes.
Because I think it's a global phenomenon that it's okay, there could be, you know, cultures and values whereby, you know, in this country, people uphold integrity. But not everyone is like that. So what would you say to that Ugandan who wants to take the easy way out of not going through the chamber, the Uganda Chamber of Commerce and of course Sharjah, so to speak, and do it their own way? Maybe they've been connected to a local partner in the UAE. What would you tell them?
First, being a member of an organization gives you credibility and traceability. You know, you have a point of reference. We can easily call the chamber president, can you vouch for this person? You know? Can you vouch for this person? And they say, yes, he's our member, and we vouch for them. So being a member of an organization is very important. It gives you a point of reference, you know. And then, 2, for Ugandans out there who want to do it alone, it's okay. But you have to be principled, you know. And I tell people always, in business, spend the profit, not the principle. So many organizations that are here have come today, they want to do business. They don't want to come and sit in Uganda, open up a shop. They want a partnership. Right. I'm going to trust you. We have Rock Ceramics here. We have General Ceramics here, for example. I'm going to trust you. Here is the goods. Do the business and pay back. So if somebody has given you on the whatever transaction, your profit is 20%, that is your money. The rest of the 80 is not. Send it back. Keep spending the 20%, work within it, grow it, you know? Yeah. Invest it right. That small amount of money that you're taking, your profit. But don't spend the principal. The first time you do a transaction, you get $100,000, you're buying a Range Rover. Right, right. You know? The next time, you're buying, you know, I don't know, BMW. Right. Because you want to keep keeping up appearances unnecessarily. So spend the principle, create sustainable wealth, generational wealth. Your children can take over from you. Your children's children can take over from you. You're going to need to learn that. Prudence. You know? Yeah. Very important. You know, let me ask you another one. Does it mean then that the person you connect to me, if I go through the normal channel, does it mean that you've also done your due diligence with regards to the local partners who are connected to Sharjah? Yes. Am I confident that if you place me with partner X, that I won't have some of these instances whereby someone would swindle you or something like that? You know, the way companies are organized in UAE, they're very, very organized. Proper audited books, you can trace them down up to 10 years. You can speak to their bankers, you know. So, but here, business is ambiguous, you know. Yeah. And you don't know where you started. Maybe tomorrow everybody has a briefcase company now. Yeah. I don't know where your offices are. You've never filed returns. Yeah. You don't have audited books of account. It's difficult to deal with you. So the other end, even if, let's say, you supplied something their side, they can even give you payment guarantees. That in the event that I don't pay you, bank this and get paid. You know, so, but with ask guarantees here, how many can get payment guarantees from banks here locally? Ask yourself. Yeah, yeah. How many? Yeah. On my end, I can vouch for it. Yeah. The Ugandan side, can you? To be a hard one. So I want people to come, do business, meet these 22 companies at Sheraton today. Come, sit down with them, but leave the Ugandanism at home today.
Leave the Ugandanism at home today.
Come and do professional business.
All right. Is it free of charge for me to come through?
Free of charge to enter Sheraton today. We start at 9 today until 2. We're here until tomorrow. We have 22 companies from Sharjah Chamber of Commerce in different sectors. From oil, you can do private labeling, these lubricant oils, to ceramics, to plastics, to steel, they're all here.
They're all here.
Yes.
Let me ask you, what are some of these quick industries whereby there's indeed a need when you look at the UAE market and vis-a-vis the Ugandan market and how we can partner together? If we have a business person watching us today, what are some of these, potential sectors for growth, or, the quick back sectors, so to speak, in the UAE, of course, with their need capacity?
Let me start with Uganda first.
Okay.
One, for example, we have steel companies here.
Yes.
We don't do iron ore mining in Uganda. These steel companies have to buy billets for them to do anything.
Right.
We have companies here that do those billets. If you can come and sit down with them, you go and do your market study. I have how many steel companies in Uganda, what is their capacity of billets that they buy, monthly, or how many tons, so that you plan for it. What price are they buying from? Most of them are buying from Russia and South Africa. So what is their price point? Delivered. CIF, their warehouse.
Right.
If it's Pramuk in Ginger, if it's steel and tube in Namav, what if it's roofing? So you come and talk to this guy, tell him, look, this is the market price. Can you give this to me? These guys are paying, they pay on delivery, or they pay in 15 days after delivery. Can you give me 15 days credit? Okay. Give me 20 days just in case. So you go, sit down, you've done your market study, the guy will send you the billets. You deliver, you make your markup of 10%, 20%, you're doing business.
Yeah.
Ceramics, we don't do them in this country. We have Goodwill doing tiles, no ceramics.
Right.
So we have General Ceramics. Come and get the cutlery. How many hotels in this country that need plates with their name on it, that need forks with their name on it? The guys are here. Glass. We don't manufacture glass here. Come and speak to these guys. Get the glass panels, even if you do not have capital. Come.
Even if you don't have capital.
Come and sit down with them and find out, so long as you have the market. So long as you have the market. Imagine you have an LPO and they say, supply us this number of cisterns. If you have an LPO, that guy, we shall find a way to get that LPO financing done for you, so that you get those goods, supply them. Let's help Ugandans do business, but professionally. And then the other side, of course, fruit and veg, coffee. But do not promise what you can't deliver. If you say 1 ton per week of pineapple, it has to be 1 ton per week of pineapple, the size that they've told you, the juice content that they've told you, the acid content that they've told you. No shortcuts.
Professionalism. Before I let you go, the UAE continues to top the list in terms of ease of doing business. I was looking at the World Bank ranking ease of doing business statistics, and they were saying that UAE still stands at position 16 out of 190 countries that were surveyed across the globe. You have been interacting with this particular space. What would you say that Uganda could learn from them, and what is it that keeps them at the top of the game in terms of ease of doing business in that country?
Transparency. Transparency is very, very important. So right from the public entities down to the private companies, So traceability, very important. Who are you? What do you do? Are you registered with government? Do you file your returns? Government as well. If I walk to the UAE embassy in Abu Dhabi and I file a complaint or a due diligence on a company which has come to ask for something in UAE, can I get that information as quickly and fast enough? Because in UAE today, everything is online. Less interaction with human beings. They've tried to go all online. Even government departments are online. The Chamber of Commerce, you can get your certificate of origin online. So let us try and ease the way of we're doing our business in Uganda. But most importantly, Uganda need to go professional. Have a website, very important, so that we know who you are. The world can know who you are.
Yes.
Have an email, a professional email, not a Gmail.
Not Gmail, not Yahoo.
Yes, not Yahoo. Yes, have a professional email.
Yes.
Then create a LinkedIn profile. It's worth it. I need to know where you went to school. I need to know who you are. When you were born. When you started business. What is your inspiration of doing this business? So that people can trace you and say, okay, I can trust this guy. I feel I know him, even if I've not really interacted. I've known him for one day, but I know him. If I Google something, I can get some information. So very important. But I want people to come to Sheraton today,
Yeah.
9 to 1. I have 22 companies from UAE. Come and interact with them.
Wow, okay. We hope that you're going to get to those standards very soon. Transparency, upholding integrity, all these other facets, but those are the key core values of business and partnerships.
The most important.
Integrity.
Yes.
Many thanks for coming through, Mr. Francis Ntangaza, the East African Projects Coordinator, of course, from Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Hashtag Morning at 10 TV. We'll share this video on YouTube. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. There is market in the UAE, and you just need to know how to go about those, loops, and you'll be in business. He said that the market is guaranteed, provided you've gone through the professional channels. My name is Malaki Vilodera. Let's take this short commercial break, and we'll be back with so much more.